Welcome to the Breaking Burnout for Nurses podcast. I want you to welcome Melanie Wolf back again for her third episode with me. She's been a nurse since 2005, so she's done several things in nursing. But one of the things we talked about in a previous episode was from survival mode to regulation. So you'll want to check that out. And then another episode we did was the cost of high achievement with nurses. And since there are so many nurses who are high achievers, that's a really important one for you to listen to also. But today I have her back, and she's going to talk about when the body feels safe, it begins to heal. Melanie, welcome back.
Thank you, Bonnie. It's really good to be back. Thanks so much for having me for all these segments.
And just we're learning a lot from you.
Well, it's wonderful, and I'm really I'm glad to be able to share these things with my fellow colleagues in the field. I know how challenging it can be out there, and certainly a lot of dysregulated people. So it's good to kind of talk about these things and maybe find some good solutions that will be helpful for people. So basically, when the body feels safe enough, it begins to heal. And what does that mean? So this is kind of targeted, I think, today, maybe for those nurses out there who maybe are on the verge of burnout or already in a chronically ill state. Maybe they have some autoimmune thing happening, or they're not quite sure what's going on with their body. They're not able to really relax deeply, even when they are in a state of where they are off duty. So we're just going to kind of be looking at ways to get the body to feel safe, because the body is the nervous system itself is only looking to protect you. So it's either looking for signals of safety, or it's in danger, running from the tiger mode. There's no in between with the nervous system, because it's built that way so we can survive as a species. So basically, we look at certain basic regulation tools. And I know all of us know these things, but they can be very challenging to do when we're in the medical field, right? When someone says you're going to work 3 12-hour shifts in a row, how the heck are you going to be able to keep your nervous system regulated? So we're looking at the basics. So hydration. Are you drinking enough water? The system needs enough water. The nervous system needs enough just to do your basic bodily functions, right? So that's just a basic one. And making sure you have a bottled water on the unit. Just drink swiggle water is so important, because you can get really dehydrated in that. We know how dry it is, and there's air flow the way the hospital rolls. So getting enough water, and then enough rest. And that's a tough one for nurses sometimes, because if you have children or a husband, or you're trying to take care of yourself, you're trying to take care of others, and you're doing a 12-hour shift, super important to get enough just basic rest, and doing whatever you need. If you need to take that time release melatonin, magnesium glycinate, whatever you need to do, find a solution. Wear your little eye mask so you can get yourself some good deep rest, and making sure you cut the screen time and put that phone away, 30 minutes, an hour before you get ready to rest. Maybe take a bath. Maybe you get off duty and you are fried. Maybe go and climb in that bathtub, or do activity that helps you prepare you for rest, because your body needs it to get you better regulated. And you will never regret getting a bath before you go to bed, and then you feel like you've had some me time. So looking at some options and ways, even if it's a 15-minute bath, even if you've got 3 kids and you're like, how on earth can I do this? Maybe looking at ways that feel good for you. Light a candle and have a cup of tea, or something that decompresses you so you can get in a restful state before you go to bed. And some of the other things are getting some daylight, right? So if you work night shift and you're rolling into bed that morning, it's kind of tough to get enough sunlight or daylight. Yes. So even if you sit outside with some tea before you go crawl in the bed, even just to get yourself some daylight, just sit outside for 15, 20 minutes. So you can feed a little, so the nervous system can really sense that a signal of safety. And everything I'm telling you is just giving your body those safety signals. And these are just basic tools to help regulate that system. And then also when you eat, and I know it's tough if you work the night shift. I did for many years. Like making smoothies. I used to do just a liquid diet at night because my tummy just couldn't handle anything else. So maybe just doing a smoothie and trying to eat regularly at the same time. It can be really tough on the night shift, or maybe even fast if you possibly can from midnight till 6 a.m. or something, just
Mhm.
for those 6 hours and really replenish yourself. So you can really keep a regular schedule because the body's noticing what you're doing. Like if you're waking up about the same time, going to bed the same time, eating about the same time, getting finding some regular pattern and way of just being is going to really help your nervous system to get in a more regulated state. And those are just the basics. And you throw in just a little bit of joy each day. So something that brings you some joy. What is it? You've done
Yes.
this 12-hour shift and you just have zero energy. Maybe just sitting on the couch and petting that kitty cat, or like
Oh, yeah.
something that just brings you, maybe go buy yourself some flowers at the store and bring them home and just stare at them, or like and smell them,
That can
so
bring you joy. Yeah.
yes, whatever that, it's the tiny things of life. It's not the end game, right? Like life
Right.
is right this very moment. You're listening to the podcast. What's happening is in this very moment of time. It's not, so again, when you're going through your shift, even looking at ways you can enjoy what you're doing right now instead of like, man, I just got to make it through this shift, and survive the shift. Maybe somehow make it pleasurable. Find little ways in the moment that can make life a little better for you. And then what you're going to do is have a better quality of existence, right? And that's what we all want anyway. We want to have a little bit more joy in our lives. And honestly, you'll feel more regulated. You'll feel like it's not doomsday when you're walking into a shift, but maybe there's some pleasurable thing that you can take from it. So, and what that does really for the body, and like our title, when the body feels safe enough, it begins to heal. So let's say you're a nurse dealing with autoimmunity or some weird disease, or even just feeling on the verge of burnout. So
Mhm.
doing bringing some regular rhythm to your life is going to be really helpful, to where you feel like, okay, I'm feeling more balanced. I'm feeling more grounded. I'm eating the same time. I'm getting more rest. I'm getting a little bit of joy in there. Things aren't so bad. It's going to
Mhm.
help your mental outlook, and it's going to send a lot of safety signals to your body. And the body is going to feel more grounded and more calm. And one of the things I also recommend, which they're on the market, you can find them anywhere, is it's another regulatory tool. And nurses, we all make decent money anyway. We can probably afford a $300 thing, but it's called a vagus nerve stimulator device. And it can really help you when you're even working that 12-hour shift. So you wear it I wear the one like a watch. There's one called Apollo Neuro, and this certainly isn't I'm promoting
It's
Apollo
called a
Neuro.
what?
It's called a vagus nerve stimulator. So
Uh-huh.
it's going to help stimulate the vagus nerve. And why the heck do we care about the vagus nerve? It's a
Mhm.
cranial nerve that innervates all the major organs of the body. And if you can help calm all the major organs of the body, you're going to feel better. You're going to feel more grounded when you go in that patient's room. You're going to be in a better, more stable, grounded place. So the vagus nerve stimulator, you can program it lots of different ways. The one I use is called Apollo Neuro, only because it's a watch. It looks like a black watch that you're wearing.
Mhm.
And it just taps. It's a gentle little tap that does all day long for you. And you can program it on rapid unwind. You can actually use it when you sleep. It helps you to get a deeper more restful sleep.
Wow.
And so the Apollo Neuro has been really powerful for me. I just program
Mm.
a rapid unwind, and you can literally feel your shoulders just drop whenever
Oh,
you do it. So
yes.
it's
My
just,
shoulders hold a lot of stress. That's
yeah,
where I hold
yeah,
my stress.
yeah. So often, Bonnie, so many of us don't even know how guarded we are half the time, because
Mhm.
we're in such a like sympathetic state, just kind of stuck in that fight or flight thing going. We've got to
Mhm.
get it done. We've got to get through this thing we're doing, and we've got patience. We've got this going on, and just this kind of hyper vigilant, hyper urgency mode that
Mhm.
so many nurses are in. because of the nature of the beast of what we deal with. And so, but if you wear something like a vagus nerve stimulator device, it can really help you just to calm, and you'll start to notice, wow, I feel pretty calm right now. What's going on? And it's just a vibratory device. It's just a tapping device. So it's just a self-soothing device is what it is. It's just telling your body at a physiological level, everything is okay here. And you don't even know what's happening. I mean, you're not having to tap. Some people, we can tap and do all of these certain types of tools.
Yeah.
But if you use the stimulator device, you literally put it on your arm like a watch, and you walk into your shift, you program it on your phone from an app, and then you get the benefits of tapping and vibratory activity without having to sit there and tap all the time,
Okay.
which I mean, those things are also very helpful, but that's just kind of an additional tool for those of us that are busy human beings trying to work a job that is highly productivity work environment, and you're just really feeling drained. But that can be super helpful. So and that's just one of the other tools I always recommend. And I also have a program, a 1 month nervous system reset program. And I also recommend people use that, take advantage of that tool in their everyday lives, because it can be very, very, very helpful for especially very, very busy people when you're driving in traffic, whatever you have to do. Put that watch on, put that vibratory device on and use it. And it can be very, very helpful to help just bring things down a little bit instead of being in such a vigilant mode. So,
And
but
spell that for us. Apollo. Is it Apollo or Apollo?
yeah, it's Apollo. It's Apollo, Apollo,
Okay.
and then neuro, Neuro. So
Okay.
neuro. So it's basically, I believe, some neurologists. There's some people, some scientists actually that are designing these tools, the vagus nerve stimulators. They're for people, honestly, they've designed some of them for people that have chronic anxiety, those types of things. But it's also great for people that are just feeling, we all know when we're feeling dysregulated, right? Like we're starting to yell at inanimate objects, and like we're agitated. We have zero patience for anything or anyone. We're getting dysregulated. Our system is seeking and craving security. It wants to feel safe. And so the ways we can do that, like I had mentioned, is, all the different basic regulatory tools, hydration, enough rest, and eating at the same time, attempting to get up at the same time, even if you're on night shift, trying to switch back to normalcy and doing that as much as you can. Because it's so important how you show up in your life for your loved ones, for your patients, and for yourself. And so it's like super important to just pay attention to those things, because your worth as a wonderful nurse serving other people, you are worth taking care of you and giving yourself that gift of, hey, I'm in a rest right now.
Yeah.
I love you guys so much, you little children, my little children, but right now mommy needs a bath. Mommy's going to go take a bath. And like, so taking care of you is going to give you back miles of life as far as like how you show up for others, and you're going to be less reactive. And even, there was a friend of mine who took a bath every night after the night shift. She would go in the morning and take a bath and prepare herself for her rest during the day. And she said it just made a world of difference, because she felt like she had some me time. And when you have me time, you feel like at some level a need is met, right? And when
Definitely.
and when your needs are met, then you tend to be able to show up better for other humans. So, but knowing also that our systems are really built, and how fascinating and amazing the nervous system is, but it's built to protect you. And so we just have to get back to the basics of life, like our ancestors did, which they weren't, driving cars 65 miles an hour and like all the things we are doing, working in these crazy high productivity work environments, that really, we're not computers, we're human beings. And so our minds tend to work. I always use the example of like a 95-year-old. If you ever hear a story from a 95-year-old, their brains are going much slower than our brains. And it's pretty much, they say, oh, I was on the farm and let me tell you about and they talk really slow and they move slow. And so, that's really how we're built on this earth. We walk around on the dirt and the ground. I mean, we're just little beings walking around. And so we've been, we have to adapt to what's happening with the computer scene in our job. And so just kind of getting back to the basics of life, that slowing things down is a big one. That's one of the regulatory tools I always encourage, is like slowing the pace. Like if you're walking into the patient's room, as long as no one's dying or going into cardiac arrest, we can walk a little slower, maybe. Like just move the pace, bring the pace down. And what that will do too, and I've talked about the prefrontal cortex, that's the thinking part of your brain. And when you bring your pace down a little bit and you regulate your system, you actually think clearly. And you start to go, oh, maybe I could pass the meds and do this other thing. And maybe you start to plan, and it actually makes your life flow a little bit easier instead of just kind of flying by the seat of your pants, which puts you back into that reptilian brain mode, where you're really not. It's hard sometimes because you're like, oh my God, I forgot what I was supposed to do next. And like, because you're so scattered, because it's a dysregulation thing in your body. You're not going to be in that thinking part of your brain that really wants to serve you, right? And be able to function at a higher level. And so it's always like slowing the pace is just so important, to just pause, especially the most important times. And this is super challenging for nurses, is like when you're in the most high stress situation, pausing, right?
That's when you need it the most.
That's when you need it the most. And that's when your system needs it the most. So you can, wait a minute, let's think a moment here. Let's pause. So that's really important. But all of these things we're talking about is giving the body safety signals. And when the body hears everything is okay here, then the body starts to heal. So when you have chronic stress, autoimmunity, on the verge of burnout, all of these things, when the body gets those signals, you actually will start to physically feel better, because your body realizes, oh, I can digest food again. I'm not running from the tiger right now. So then guess what? All of the other bodily functions start to go, oh, okay, everything's okay here. There's nothing to fear or stress out about. So, and one of the other tools, I've talked a lot about the body up tools. So I don't want to use too much nomenclature or throwing out a bunch of words like, what does that mean? But like body up is just like what we talked about, nutrition, all these things, like eat at the same time. All these are good, right, for your body. The brain down stuff is like what you're thinking all the time. And, how do you go through life? Are you living in a fear mode? Like, the worst case scenario mode. And oh my goodness, how many of us live like that? It's just how it goes. And this, oh, do I have enough money? Do I have just fear, right?
Yeah. So what if this happens? What if that happens?
What if this worst case scenario? And so and so really it's like emotional resistance, right? Your body is sensing danger, just as if the body, like if there was a tiger outside coming at us, it's that same fear. The body is processing it. It is so highly intelligent, your nervous system, that it is picking up on, oh, there's something wrong here. There's something to be afraid of here. Things aren't going to work out for me. What's going to happen? Oh my goodness, when you get in those modes. So, every single day, or, when you start to notice you're getting into that mindset, just like, I think everything's going to work out. It's going to be okay. So trying to switch it up. And I know it's such a huge challenge when we've been conditioned to think a certain way for 50 years of our lives, to switch that pattern. But that's really how we create new neural pathways in our brain, as we go, no, when you go, oh my God, it's not going to work out. I'm not going to have enough money. Wait a minute. Everything's how many times has it worked out in the past?
Right.
over and over and over again. And always somehow things always kind of work out. So the older you get, certainly you go, well, you know, it always worked out before. It's going to work out this time too. So, but the more you can do that, you start to, your body, you start to shift and create literally new neural circuitry in your brain when you can focus on what's good and what's going to work out, and shifting that perspective can be very powerful in your life. And just seeing as much good as you can. And it's really easy. We're creatures of judgment. It's how we're built. It's how we're made, you know, to judge things. Oh, they're not going to work out, whatever. But really switching it up and attempting to change it, like even the smallest thing, like, nope, I'm going to think differently about this. Oh, my car broke down. Oh, well, I'll just get it fixed. And just instead of going to that worst case scenario, because truly it is the nervous system is hearing every tiny little message that you're giving it, either from your body or from your actual thinking processes. So super important. And just something to mention, and certainly worth mentioning, is our mindset. Our mindset is huge in how we go through our shift, how we show up with the people we're serving in the medical community. And, you know, we always work with those people who will always see the sunny side of everything, right? And that can be annoying, right? But the reality is, you know, they have their lives, they're living a better, joyous life. I mean, none of us want to walk around complaining all the time. It doesn't put us in a place of joy, right? When we're like, oh, this and this and this, it doesn't make us happy to do that. So just looking at ways, tiny, tiny ways throughout the day, throughout our shift, ways we can show up in a different way. Just make us even a small change today. If you're like, you know what? If you take one thing from our little conversation here on the podcast today, just do one thing, like for yourself, like, okay, you know what? I'm going to start focusing on practicing gratitude for every single thing. I get in my car and I go, dang, I've got a car to drive. Isn't this amazing? Or I don't know, whatever it is. Or I'm going to start to eat differently, and I'm going to eat at the same time every day. Or I'm just going to drink more water for the next week. I'm going to drink more water and see how my body feels. So just one little step at a time gets you there. And I think just taking one thing that feels good or resonates for you, start with that and incorporate that into your life. The easiest thing, because if you're feeling really dysregulated and overwhelmed, this could be a lot for you. Like, oh my God, I can't change every single thing in my life
No, just
by next week, you know?
One little thing at a time. Well, thank you, Melanie, for being on my show again. Let us know how we can get a hold of you, because I know you have courses that can help nurses. So what is the best way to get a hold of you?
Yeah, so my website is regulatewithmelanie.com. So simple, regulatewithmelanie.com. I do offer a 1-month nervous system reset program, and it is really built for high functioning, high productivity females that need a little bit more balance and grounding in their lives. And so that is a 1-month. It's called Rooted and Regulated. That program is listed on my website, regulatewithmelanie.com. I also am a public speaker and working on my TED Talk. And then also I am a big cold bather. I do the Wim Hof is the other thing I do. So I am a Wim Hof certified instructor. So I very much love teaching people that side of nervous system regulation as well. So
wow. All right. Well, thanks so much for being on my show. And of course, we're going to have you back again, because we're going to have you talk about utilization review, which I don't really know anything about. So I'm looking forward to that too. So everybody, please come back next Monday at 10 a.m. because we are breaking burnout here.
Yeah. Thanks, Bonnie. Thank you.
Thank you, Melanie.